Yeah, I do feel, people always ask me all the time. They say, do you write your own songs? And I said, well, I didn't make it off my looks.
It's like Smelly Cat from Friends, but the opposite.
Classic.
Classic. So yes, I haven't seen you. The last time I saw you, I was speaking with Billy last night, and we thought it was Perth, which was years and years ago, and we were both preparing to get married.
Billy said you were cutting up the dance floor last night.
Yeah, it was a hip hop showcase, and there were all these like hot little girls and like thug looking guys, and me and my best friend Violet, who's 38 weeks pregnant, were getting down and dirty. Like it was not cool, but YOLO.
Mate, that's so cool. And mate, I'm so happy for you. This is great.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling so excited and just so lucky.
The first 3 months we called the trenches. Like the first 3 months they'll fly by and you won't know what the hell happened. And then you get out of them and be like, okay, we're good.
Do you ever stop looking at them and because I'll cry thinking about it. I can't imagine looking at the baby and being like, this is my baby that I made with the person I love the most in the world. Does that stop ever?
No, like I've got a picture of her behind the computer here, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, there are obviously challenges, but it's like life. This is what life's about, and yeah, like every day is better. There's been so many times where I've been like, right, can we just freeze this age because it won't get better than this. This is like the best age, and then like a week later, it's like, oh my god, but they're doing this now, and it does get better and better. I just can't wait for you to experience. But the first 3 months, I'm telling you, the first 3 months are the trenches.
Okay, the takeaway from this chat will just be, I'll go home and tell Adrian that's the first 3 months are going to be shit. It's going to be a lot.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it's shit, but it's challenging.
It's a lot.
And I would say after 3 months, they get into a sleep pattern, a routine, and it's a bit easier.
Yeah, because people don't so I know you a bit, and I know that you would be in the trenches with Cherry. You're in there, but I think people assume he's so famous. He just had this kid, and then like there's people milling about, and then he's just in the studio doing his thing. And okay. But I feel like that's not you, maybe.
So this isn't. I don't think this is a fame thing or anything thing. This is a if you want kids or you don't want kids. If you want to have kids, regardless if you're famous and regardless if you have the means to have help. If you want to be a father, you will be a father. If you want to have a kid and go back to work, then you'll do that. But like I've always wanted to be a dad, and I'm not going to hand my kid off to someone else. Like I like honestly cherish every single nappy that I change. I love it. I love making breakfast in the morning. I love playing with Rattle. I feel like I don't know. I don't really know, because I feel people just assume that they go, oh, you've had
exactly.
like a host of nannies, and that's, it's not something that I've ever wanted for myself or my family, or my
but
parents.
It seems like
my parents live around the corner. If I need a babysitter, I'll ring them up.
It seems like for as long as we've known you, you've made such an effort to have it all in a good way, to really do life on your terms, and like to have your privacy, to have your family life, but that requires a lot of effort. You must be proud that you've been able to have this beautiful family and home life, and that's steeped in something that's really real and beautiful, as well as the success.
For me, it took just a separation, and knowing to respect my work and my job, and knowing that this is my family, like this is my home. My friends live nearby, my parents live nearby, my wife grew up with me at the same school, and we're all in the same area. But if I want to go and do industry shit, I'll put on a suit and I'll go to London, and I'll go to a nice restaurant. I'll go to an award show. But then when it's done, I'll get a taxi back here and I'll enter back into life. And someone said something really, really interesting to me about like 5 years ago, because I got really offended by something that someone had done to me who was in my industry. And they said, yes, but it's called the music business. It's not called the music kumbaya. It's called the music business. And instantly that made sense to me. And I was like, right, I need to separate the two. I've got my home life and I've got my work life. And there's, I mean, regular people do it. They go to have a 9 to 5 and then they go home, and then that's it. So I've just managed to make the separation. Make the separation.
And did you, I mean, how long did you keep the black false fingernails on? I mean, did they come off straight away before you went home, or did you come home to Cherry and be like, hey, babe? Because that was some freaky looking shit from what I can see so far.
I had them on for 3 days. I've got to be honest. The night, I mean, this makes me, this is a bad story, but the nighttime shoots the first time that I'd been away properly, and I was shooting till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd get home at 5, and then Lyra would be up, and then I'd be up with her till 9, and then I go back to shoot at 10. So for the second and third night, I stayed with my mate Zach, who lived nearby, and Cherry was just like, look, you just go and do your thing. So the nails were probably not really seen by anyone other than the people on the set.
I can't imagine you changing a nappy with those nails. I mean, some influencers are able to do it, but I'm like,
not for me. Not for me.
And this song, sorry, we've talked about my favorite thing in the world, babies and family, for 9 minutes, and I've got a minute to go. But this song,
you know what, mate? I'm up anyway. If you want to do more time, I'm not going to bed anytime soon. So if you want to,
you're used to no sleep.
If we want to run on, we want to run on. Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you, Eduardo. You're a legend. It's funny, when I first heard the song, I was like, every now and then Ed Sheeran gives us these hints of a part of him that's a bit fucked up, but in a good way, right? Like, because we're all a bit fucked up. Part of us is, and on the surface we go, no, but it's Ed, and he wrote Thinking Out Loud and Perfect, and he's Sunshine and Daisies. But then you put this song out, and I'm like, he's telling me that there's more to the story. So, I mean, Bad Habits.
On a night out before, that I love a drink. Always in my songs, I do this. I've had experience with this. I've done this. I mean, if you listen back to like Multiply or A-Team, like not A-Team, but Plus or Divide, like all throughout all of those albums, I say exactly what I do and I've been getting up to and the experiences that I've had. And I can never be caught out with anything because I've always been open with it. And like, what can people say? Pop star has this experience that all other pop stars have, like I've always tried to be honest. So with Bad Habits, I know it's like a darker theme and people think of me as the thinking out loud guy, but I've never ever tried to be anything other than I am.
And lastly, I want to talk about the football club, because I think this is the coolest thing in the world, that the footy team that you were a fan of, because Australians love this shit, because we're so into our football and our sport. And how does one become it?
I went to a St Kilda game when I was over there for Michael's memorial as well.
I know, I saw the photos.
How I became a St Kilda fan is when I was playing the AFL grand final. I said to some random person in the stadium, I was like, who's the shittest team in Australia? And they went, St Kilda. And I was like, right, I'm a St Kilda fan. And it just so happened that Michael was a mad St Kilda fan. So I just became a St Kilda fan by proxy. But yeah, so sorry, what was your question about football?
Well, first of all, no Australian rules football team stays shit for very long. So if you jump on the bandwagon at the bottom, within a couple of years, they'll be okay again.
I've been a St Kilda fan for 7 years now, and they're not winning anything, are they?
Maybe you need to sponsor St Kilda as well as Ipswich.
Oh, mate, I was saying to Matt Gadinsky, like Mushroom Records should definitely sponsor St Kilda, and I would.
Yes,
I would chip in for that.
I'll put in $100, not 1,000, just $100. That's I got nappies to buy and stuff. So Ipswich Football Club, and I promise Warner this will be my last question. Do you get to like hang? Are you like the cool guy in the suit that gets to like have the greasy hair and like walk into the locker rooms? Hey boys, love the game. Are you mates with them now?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of always been quite close with everyone there because I've been going there for years. I had a box there when I was off tour, and I would go and watch all the games. But I feel like it's quite nice because usually their sponsor would be a company and it would be quite corporate. But like, so when you sign a sponsorship deal with them, it's like your company can turn up and have company events and meet the team, and we'll sign 75 footballs for you and your company. Exactly. But because it's just me, it's like quite chilled. So usually you're meant to be sent like 150 shirts that are signed, and I got like one shirt for Lyra, one shirt for Cherry, and one shirt for me. And I'm like over the moon about it. And I think There's one thing in the contract that I will take them up on. It says the sponsor can turn up as the team mascot, dress up as a giant horse, and walk on the pitch. So I'm definitely going to take them up on that. But man, it's wholesome being the team sponsor. I've been a fan of Ipswich since they were sponsored by like a beer company, and then they were sponsored by the guy that bought them, Marcus Evans, and then they were sponsored by a online betting company, as all football teams in England are. And now, you know, I wanted to do their sponsorship as something like mildly offensive, but everyone was like, you should probably do something like promoting your stuff. But I just thought it'd be funny to have like, you know, something mildly offensive on their shirt.
Just mildly.
Mate, it's not televised. You know, it's not going to offend that many people.
No way. I'm all for that. I think you should absolutely do it. What does it just say on, like, what does it say?
No, it says plus, multiply, divide, subtract, equals tour.
I love that. Actually, I just want to say that I was at Gudinski's service, and the song was one of the most beautiful moments, I think, of my lifetime. So thank you for giving us that. And it was beautiful. We love you.
Jimmy Barnes and Kylie are actually singing on that on the album now. I've got them singing backing vocals on it.
Shut up.
Yeah, I was there that night, and those two people are the most, you know, from knowing Michael, they're the most important people in Michael's life musically. He was always saying Kylie or Jimmy Barnes, and when I was there, I sung with. I'm sorry, Ash, but yeah, I sung with Kylie, and then I hung with Jimmy afterwards, and I was just like, you guys have to be on this song. So I got back to England, I recorded it, I sent it off to them, and they're on it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he would be so he is so chuffed. You can just imagine it. It's that's the best.
So the amount of times I used to send him songs, because he used to always say, you need to send me songs for Jimmy, like, you need to send me songs, Jimmy. And so I used to send him fucking loads of songs, and he always wanted me to sing with Kylie, and I ended up getting to sing with Kylie, and she just sent me her wine. I just got a box of Kylie wine. Do you know she sold 1 million bottles of wine? 1 million bottles of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
She's fucking killing it, mate. In England, Kylie is queen in England. she cannot do any wrong. So yeah, Kylie.
Yeah, Kylie.
Thank you for your wine. The sparkling rosé was lovely, and nice one.
Love it. Can't wait to hear it. We love you. We miss you. Give my love to your girls, and thank you for being so generous as always with your time, darling. See ya.
Nice one, Ash.